1 second. And we're live.
Remember to remove your shoes, and welcome to the penultimate place to get your Marvel news, our MCU reviews, and fireside chats on all things Marvel. This is episode 51 of the Marvel Mondays Initiative, and today's topic is episode 3 review discussion of Ms. Marvel titled Destined. If you're listening on your favorite podcast service, feel free to give us a good rating on that platform. It helps the algorithms and helps us grow our audience. And if you're watching on YouTube, consider dropping a like and a sub. And don't forget to hit the bell to get notifications for all our shows like the Penultimate Game Show, the Cross Media Show, and Anime Nation. And every now and then, a few little video features that we, intersperse in there. Little dashes of pepper and salt in the forms of video essays. If you're watching on Twitch and have Amazon Prime, you have Prime Gaming, which means you have one free sub to give out. And we'd love it if you gave it to us. But if not, that's quite all right. We understand. But I don't. We do, but I don't personally. Folks, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Cristian Macias, your curator of cinema and host for the evening, the man with all the correct takes on Sonic 2. Alongside me today, actually, Eric is gone. I don't know. He got bit by a radioactive
Spider?
Oh, dream come true for him, I'm sure.
Yeah. And except for in his case, it's just vomiting.
Yeah.
It doesn't give him any powers.
He got radioactive poisoning.
So instead, alongside me today, rounding out the war table, of course, our one and only director of operations, Ben Guerrero.
Oh, whoa! What are they at?
Did we both salute?
I did this.
Oh, and I saluted you.
Yeah,
Oh, Captain, my captain.
How's it going, Christian?
I'm doing pretty well. It's hot over here.
I mean, listen, I'm sorry to say, but you've been knocked down a couple pegs from yesterday's show. I don't know if they told you
I've been pegged.
I don't know if they told you this, but they stripped you of your curator title. You are no longer the curator of cinema. You're just the guy who has bad takes on cinema and TV, for instance, Obi-Wan Kenobi. So,
Obi-Wan Kenobi, bad show. Sorry, not bad show, but not good show.
Okay, show. Mediocre show. How about that?
Mid, as they say.
Sure.
Rounding out the show today, our guest, the Nintendo aficionado, the enthusiast of April O'Neil, my co-host of Penultimate, my co-host of Podcast PXN, Rauwshan. Hello, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I've missed you.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yes.
How you doing?
Ro's a Ms. Marvel enjoyer, correct?
Yes, I do. I love the character. I hate to. When I say I'm a Ms. Marvel enjoyer, I love the character. I read some of the comics. I'm not a hardcore fan. I don't know everything, but I think I know enough to have a good conversation here today.
He just set up the background today. Like once he was like, I got to get on this show, So let's just set it up so we can make sure that everybody believes that I know everything about Ms. Marvel.
Yes.
Ro, have you been on any of the Marvel shows beforehand?
I think I was on for one of the Captain.
Captain.
Right.
American and Winter Soldier one.
Correct. Okay. Did we do any rapid fire questions? I'm in the mood for some.
I don't remember.
Okay, let's do some. I have 4 categories here. Let's do one. Let me tell you the categories. You can pick one. I have this or that. Pick a hero. Pick a villain. Or good or bad.
Oh, okay. I get to choose?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your feeling?
How about this or that?
This or that. Let's do it. Ready? Rapid fire. X-Men or Avengers?
Avengers.
Infinity War or Endgame?
Infinity War.
Tony Stark or Steve Rogers?
Tony Stark.
Chadwick Boseman or Michael B. Jordan?
Chadwick Boseman.
Miss Marvel or She-Hulk?
Miss Marvel.
Moon Knight or Shang-Chi?
Shang-Chi.
Hell yeah. We'd love to see it.
Hell yeah.
I mean, Ro, I don't know if you remember our conversation beforehand, but like She-Hulk or Miss Marvel, I'm picking She-Hulk all the way, especially after that trailer.
Oh, man.
Okay, you're picking for different reasons, but okay. Yeah. I can't argue with that.
Imagine She-Hulk just throwing us around. I'd love it every second, dude.
It's like
Yeah.
Brolic, Natalie Portman. Be a fun time.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God, Natalie
Can't wait for
Portman.
that movie.
Yeah. Speaking of Natalie Portman, got some Marvel news. The premiere
Whoa,
of
we just skipped housekeeping.
we skipped housekeeping. I'm sorry. I apologize. Let's get into a few housekeeping items before we get into our Marvel news. Ruben, you want to take this while I pull up the news because I totally forgot to paste it in there.
Yeah, that's totally fine. Tomorrow we are finally doing our Lightyear review. We'll be joined by Griffin, the host of the host of the Disney Plus Us cast. Ryan is also joining us, and maybe Mitch from Disney Plus Us as well. We'll see. So tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on twitch.tv/penultimate conquest. Wednesday, we are doing a fundraising stream to help support the abortion funds. You can put in right now in the chat, ! Donate to get the link. We'll be doing a lot of these fundraising streams in July, so if you can't make it on Wednesday, stay tuned for more of them. The Penultimate Games crew is going to be recapping the Nintendo Direct that's happening tomorrow on Thursday. So the recap is happening on Thursday. Nintendo Direct is happening tomorrow. So temper your expectations. We know it's going to be focusing on third parties, but there might be some hidden gems in there. So, don't count it out. Okay? Just
Silk Song release date this fall.
we'll see.
It's coming.
We'll see.
It's
We'll see. Again, it was in the Xbox showcase. It's going to happen within a year. So we'll see. And of course, as always, please feel free to leave your thoughts and questions on our SpeakPipe at speakpipe.com/penultimateconquest. That's it.
Alrighty. I got one news item here, and I don't need to paste it. So, the Thor: Love and Thunder premiere happened late last week, and I believe that was in Los Angeles. I don't remember. I have to find that.
Okay.
Sorry. Otherwise, Taika in an interview was talking about how he feels that Thor: Love and Thunder is his best of the Thor movies, of the two he's done now. He likes it. He thinks it's better than Ragnarok, and I really enjoyed Ragnarok. So if he thinks this is better, that's kind of exciting to hear that Love and Thunder is like another great one. Reviews have not dropped yet, but otherwise, they should happen. I think later this week, by early next week for sure. Those will be dropping. But otherwise, bro, I want to know how excited you are for Love and Thunder, if at all.
I am excited for Love and Thunder for sure, especially after the last couple of trailers that we saw. Thor hasn't been a huge hype character for me until Ragnarok, so that was really the turning point for me enjoying him as a character, and ever since then I really enjoyed him. So having Taika back to direct another Thor movie is just awesome. So I can't wait to see that. I'm definitely interested to see how they introduce Jane Foster as Mighty Thor and see how they explain that stuff, because if I'm not mistaken, it's been a while since we've seen that character, right? Yeah, so I'm excited to see how they introduce that.
When was Thor: The Dark World? 2013? Is that the last time we saw Jane Foster?
That's a great question. I don't know.
9 years ago?
Yeah, wow.
Actually, it was 8 years, 3 months, and 6 days, according to.
All right, well, I'm not going to get that. I'm rounding up to 9. Yeah. Ruben,
Yes.
you still excited?
Yeah, man, I'm still excited. Taika Waititi has slowly grown as one of my, I would say, top 20 directors. So he has yet to do me wrong.
I'm going to guess your number one director right now.
Go for it.
Christopher Nolan.
No, he's number 5. No, he's in the top 5. Top 5.
But you named your dog after him.
I know, but
Okay. Well, you'll be glad to know that Taika Waititi is dropping 2 movies this year. Oh, sorry, I didn't catch it.
No, it's okay.
I'm in news mode, dude. I'm just going. I'm zipping.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Anyway.
if you like Taika Waititi, of course, Thor: Love and Thunder dropping next week, and Next Goal Wins dropping by the end of 2022.
I'm excited. I'm also excited for his. I was going to say Spider-Man movie. His Star Wars movie.
Oh, Star Wars.
Yeah.
which he has not begun to write yet.
Yeah.
But he jokes that Jar Jar Binks is the main character.
Oh my god.
I really hope not. Really
I
hope
hope
not.
so.
Yeah.
That'll be
Taika
a
plays
nice
Jar
treat.
Jar.
That'd
Oh
be
my
great.
god.
That would be great.
Yeah. Okay. That's it for Marvel news.
Okay, sweet.
Let us get into episode 3. What was it? I almost said Decepticon. That is not right. Destined. I don't know why I got Transformers on the brain. Top level thoughts as always. I want to start with Ro. What do you
Yes.
thought of episode 3?
Top level, I enjoyed it a lot. This one was probably my least favorite out of the 3 that we've gotten so far. And I think that's just a testament of how good the first 2 episodes were, not how bad this one is. But yeah, I had a good time watching it. I just wanted to shout out the music that was going over the Marvel intro this week. Went really hard for me. I was like, this didn't have to go that hard. This sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And it got me hyped. And yeah, I thought it was a fun episode. I like the action near the end. I'm sure we'll talk about that later. I love the chemistry between all the actors. It's just like everything's so believable. And I'm having a really good time just watching them interact with each other. But yeah, my least favorite, but still had a good time watching it.
Ruben, how about you?
You know,
Least
it's
favorite as well?
I wouldn't say least favorite. It's I guess so. I was gonna say it's definitely the lowest of the 3, but it's still a good time. You know, it's given us some well needed information on the clandestines. It's given us a potential romantic triangle, and it's also giving us that big reveal to the best friend who doesn't know that they're a superhero, which is kind of weird, but it's here or there. Yeah. And it also gives us, some culture, which is fun, great to learn some more stuff.
Yes. Yes. For me, I'm somewhere in the middle between like. I think for sure I'll agree that it is my least favorite. And that's because I don't like the new direction the show is going in. I think, as I've said on the first 2 episodes, I think Miss Marvel is at its strongest when it's focusing on not the superhero aspect of Kamala, but her, like, when it's the focus of her, like, actual teenage girl life and how superhero stuff gets in the way of that and, like, having to navigate relationships and, dating, obviously, like the family life. That to me is like where Miss Marvel has been exceeding, where it feels like a teen drama comedy more so than a superhero show. What is that?
What?
Oh,
What am I hearing? Oh, I had a tab that was unmuted and then a video started playing. I'm sorry.
Scared the shit out of me.
I'm sorry.
I was like,
That was on my end.
Dude, that
Me
scared
too.
me. Yeah, but there on this episode, I felt like there was a turn to the more traditional Marvel stuff, which we'll get into, that I don't think I jived with, and I would rather the show focus on the smaller stakes of Kamala rather than like here's the big stuff where if you don't deal with this, it could have devastating, destructive consequences on the city or the world, and that was a bit of a bummer. But Ro, please.
No, I was gonna say we're definitely probably gonna get into it, but what you're saying about the Marvel thing happening is like there was a part of this episode where I was like, oh come on, does it have to be that? But yeah, we'll talk about it later. Yeah.
We can talk about it right now. We're halfway through the season. Do you like the new direction the show is going in? Of course, as I said, the stakes are much higher for Kamala. I'm not sure if I'm buying into it, but I want to see how you guys feel. I guess I should, for context, the clandestines, right? Or they're jinns from another dimension, and they're trying to get back to their own dimension through the use of Kamala's bangle. But because they only have one, if they were to do it, it could have potential risks where it could cause, as Bruno says, a big explosion. People could get hurt. City could be destroyed. Who knows how big this explosion could be? But it feels like it's a pretty big thing, right? So, how do you feel about this new direction the show's going in?
When I first heard like we are from another dimension, I rolled my eyes. I was like, really? Do we have to do this again? The other dimension thing? Come on, can they just be like bad guys from this dimension? That would be cool. But I think I'm more on Christian's side where like I'm not too sure if that is the truth. Maybe they're kind of just we want the bangle. I don't know what's going on completely right now. But when I heard the other dimension thing, I was like, oh, okay. But when they kind of reeled it back in and kind of brought it more into Kamala's culture and it being like from her childhood. Like these are stories that she knows of, and kind of it relates more to her as a character. Then I started getting a little bit more on board with it. But when it was first introduced, it was like, here we go again with this interdimensional stuff where, like you were saying, I want it to be a little bit more close to home, not such a big grand event every single show.
Yeah, because like my thing with Marvel is that especially these Marvel shows with younger heroes, it doesn't need to be an end of the world, like city will be destroyed kind of thing. And the show gets a lot of comparisons to Spider-Man: Homecoming, and it made me think about like the villain in Homecoming, the Vulture. Like the main thing he's doing is just stealing from Stark Tech. Like that is kind of it's a bigger scale, but it is still a small scale kind of event. And with these Disney Plus shows, it feels like it's like these things that are there's nothing wrong with letting Kamala just be the friendly neighborhood hero, you know, that's representing these marginalized cultures, in my opinion. And I was just talking to Hugo recently, who was saying that we just got like these kinds of interdimensional beings with the last show, Moon Knight, just like a month ago, and this show is following the same structure where it's 3 episodes at home, and then all right, let's go back to, you know, they're going to Pakistan here, so you know now 3 episodes away for like. I don't know. We'll see how where the next 3 episodes go. I'm sure it might be good because I'm really curious to see what they do with like Kamala's mother and how she's tying in with everything with the bagel and her great grandmother. Like that stuff is interesting for sure. Anyway, Ruben, new direction. How do you feel?
Have Kamala just focus on the real crime that's happening in Jersey City. You know, the mafia. Tony Soprano is walking around here somewhere, and he's just like getting rid of bodies left and right. I just feel like, you know, we kind of had. You see, it's hard because we kind of had the small story for Hawkeye, and that really didn't quite hit because they tried to add a bunch of stuff to it with Kingpin. It just, I feel like we're screwed either way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it could go the way of like, hey, make it a small story, focus on Kamala and her community.
Mm-hmm.
But if we get that, it's kind of like, well, you know, it kind of could have been a little bigger. You know, I don't know. I am convinced that I'm just gonna say it, Christian, and please don't hate me for this. But like, we kind of don't need any more Marvel shows, unless it's like a Loki.
Thank you.
A Loki.
Thank you.
Loki is probably the only one I could see having a season 2. Everything else feels like it should have been a movie, besides WandaVision.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, that's a lot to take in because that's a big statement, right? No more Marvel shows, and I think I would have agreed with you. And then until I started watching Miss Marvel, where like episodes 1 and 2 were so good, like this finally felt like quality TV that was made all around the TV format. Aside from WandaVision, a little bit of Loki, and I'll acquiesce there. Like it felt really good, right? And now it's feeling like more like we gotta. I won't retread that point. I won't go there. Instead, I want to focus on some other things that I have some questions about. One is actually a praise, but also something I really wanted more out of the show. The question is, will the Department of Damage Control have a continued role in the series? If so, how much and or little? For me, what the show is doing so well is that letting Kamala be like this small scale hero where the damage control agents being this like figure that's also like representing like how people misconstrue and like marginalize race, you know, the minority people, I thought was like so good, and I really wanted them to stay the antagonist the whole way through. I'm kind of bummed. However, it did lead us to one of my favorite scenes of the series, which is when they went into the mosque this episode and going in with no warrant. They were pretty much being, you know, all they know is that it seems to be a brown girl in this community, so it's like kind of racially motivated, just going into mosques unwarranted, right? And they went in without removing their shoes.
Unbelievable.
I don't know. So, how do you guys feel about damage control getting a smaller role now?
Like I said before, I just think we need a damage control movie. Not movie, sorry. One shot after every movie. You know? Just 15 minutes of Agent Cleary just shooting the shit with people, you know? Maybe he's a good guy. Maybe he's a bad guy. Who knows?
I don't know. I don't know if he is the good guy after.
Or you know
this
what?
show.
Actually, I'm thinking he could just have the interrogation scene with fuck, Peter's best friend. I forgot his name.
Ned.
Yeah, with Ned. Just like have it comedy relief at the end. You know?
Mm.
I wouldn't be against that, but I do like what they're doing with damage control in this. I hope that they do come
Back.
back, yeah, as a bigger role. I know they're not gone, but it does seem like they are being pushed to the wayside a little bit more. I did love the scene that they had at the mosque, and how Nakia was just able to put them in their place. And hopefully they don't come back, but I mean they quote unquote may have accomplished their goal near the end of it, but they arrested the wrong brown person. But I think that's even more interesting as well. But yeah, if they come back in a big way, that's cool. But I think it's also cool that they're using them to just also share a message, and
Yes.
that's cool as well.
Mhm.
If that's what damage control is there for, to just bring up that part of Kamala's story.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope they come back, because I didn't want the interdimensional thing, but we're getting the interdimensional thing, so it's okay. But I liked what they did with them so far.
Yeah. Can I just say too, like, Naki is my favorite character of the show.
She rocks, yeah.
She's really cool.
I liked like I said earlier before, I love their chemistry, like Kamala and, I don't know the actor's name, but Kamala and Nakia's relationship. And when she came into the bedroom to let Kamala know that she became part of the board, and Kamala's just like, "What's wrong, Squishy?" And it's like, "This is so cute." They're so cute. And there was an episode in the second episode, or there's a scene in the second episode where they were in the bathroom, and Naki was giving
So good.
Kamala the rings, and she's like, "I love you." It's like, I feel that. I believe that. So they're really doing a good job building these characters up.
She's like the vessel where they talk about identity the most, like
Yeah.
in that very scene in episode 2, and then in the mosque in episode 3. Yeah, it's so good every time.
I do.
They dress it.
I do think that damage control. I'm gonna take back what I said before. They don't need a one shot. I feel like if you're gonna do damage control and have them be the bad guy, you would need to. And Christian, I'm sorry to say this, but you would need to follow Sony's plan of what they're doing, and either make a villain movie or a villain TV show, and have them follow that.
The thing is that Sony doesn't do villains. All their movies are anti-hero.
I mean, Morbius is a villain in this society.
I haven't seen Morbius.
Good. I'm glad. But like in general, he's a
Should
villain.
Should I watch Morbius?
No, stop.
Bro, have you seen Morbius?
Stop.
I have not seen Morbius.
Let's
no.
watch it, dude.
It's out on digital Blu-ray.
You're gonna
rent
pay
it.
for this? No, bro, don't
No?
do this.
Don't buy. Don't support them. Okay.
Don't support them. No.
I think I did a free trial of Showtime on Amazon, and I downloaded it to say, screw it, I'm gonna watch it on a plane. I didn't watch it, and then the download expired, so I guess I'm not. So
It's not on Showtime. It's on Stars.
I'm sorry, Stars. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
You would know.
Because Sony
Number
owns
one Morbius
Stars. Okay, Sony owns Stars. And everything Sony related just usually goes to Stars first.
This segue doesn't work anymore because we've moved past what Rose said about
I'm
Nokia's
sorry.
rings.
My apologies.
So, no, I derailed it. So
Okay.
I'm just gonna do it anyway and pretend like Rose just said that. Speaking of rings, we saw a symbol of the 10 rings during
Yeah.
the opening flashback, and they were in India. And I don't know where to go. Like, all I can do here is speculate. You know, obviously both Asian, 10 rings, the bangles. To the extent we don't know, do you guys have any ideas about their seeming connection?
I can only think of one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing only. Are you ready? They got
I'm
the
ready.
bangles from the same place, I guess, that they got the 10 rings from?
Where'd they get the 10 rings from? I don't remember.
I don't
know.
know either. That's a good question. I think he just found it. Oh, no, if I remember correctly, they came from space. which is a weird way.
Oh, at the end of the movie, they had coordinates to where.
Yeah. But I don't think that's related. I just think like they both came from space. You know?
I don't know. I guess it makes sense since the rings are also kind of bangles in the MCU now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're all bangles.
Yeah.
Everything's coming up bangles.
Who knows? It could just be like little tiny rings for Galactus. You know?
True. Also, there was a blue hand at the beginning.
Yeah, I saw that
blue
too. And I thought I was like, is nobody else gonna fucking question this? Like, this guy's hand is blue.
I mean, well, it turns out they're djinns from another dimension.
Yeah.
So
And djinns are
Probably normal
usually
to
blue.
them.
In every
Maybe.
media I've seen, they're usually blue.
Aladdin, I guess.
Supernatural as well.
Supernatural. Okay.
I don't know.
There you have it.
There you go.
Oh, so it
Kree?
could have been another djinn.
It could have been a Kree.
Could have been Kree. The other thing that's blue is Loki's.
Scepter.
No, the Frost people.
Oh,
Oh,
Frost.
yeah.
It's not.
Frost
Yeah.
Giants.
And Yondu's people. Yondu's people.
This is
Yondu.
true, yeah.
Smurf? Smurfs?
Yeah,
anyway.
that's what it was. It was a Smurf.
Oh, probably another djinn. You're right.
Yeah.
Let's praise some stuff from the episode and kind of unpack relationships. I actually want to start with relationship with Kamala and herself, which I didn't even write in the notes. But I think one of the strongest moments in this episode was actually I think it was after the mosque when they're having the family reunion in the Mendi because Kamala's brother is getting married the next day. Kamala is at this like crisis of identity. She's feeling like she's letting her not society, her community down because of her. These damage control agents are coming in and pretty much just like not abusing people, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, it's really scrutinizing the community. And so like she's outside, like really thinking about this, and I don't know the name. Who works at the mosque? I didn't write down the name. He comes outside and he says something that Roe tweeted out. I think like 2 weeks ago. Yeah. He said, "Good is not a thing you are, it is a thing you do." And god damn it if that isn't one of the best lines out of Miss Marvel. Is that line out of the comics? Is that something that
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like her. It's basically her version of "with great power comes great responsibility." Like that's what Abu tells Kamala in the comics. She also was told it in the hit Marvel's Avenger video game by Square Enix on A Day. But yeah, I think the equivalent of this would be "great power comes great responsibility" from Uncle Ben. Yeah, it is a great
Gotcha.
line though.
it's so
actually
good.
on May.
Oh, right. Yes. I bet.
She has that, and then the scene right after with her mom when she's up there, and they're talking about, how did you feel when she came over here, and she talks about like what it was like to be an immigrant, and how lonely she felt, and like that hit home for me, like hearing stories about how my parents came over, right, and like not knowing anyone for a little while when they moved, and my mom not speaking English for how many years, and finding community where she found it. Like such great scenes in like so little time. It's one of the things that I love about Miss Marvel is like having these kinds of conversations in earnest.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Definitely. Yeah, I could relate to that immigrant story too. Like I came to Canada when I was 6, but my parents came here before I did to like settle before they brought me here. But yeah, like if it wasn't for one person, I have like one family here. Everybody else is back in Trinidad. But if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to like get our roots here and then be able to move out on our own and get our own house and all that kind of stuff. So when she said like I found the mosque and then I found my family and then like, oh yeah, that hits home. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's really it's definitely showing a culture that I'm not a part of in a great light and that we don't see in such a positive light often. But it's also like speaking to a lot of people of color and that can relate to this story as well. I think that's really cool.
I keep thinking about like the phrase Allahu Akbar, the way it's been depicted in media for so long, and finally we're getting uses of it in mainstream media, where it's just like
Not
finally, exactly, because it isn't, right? And both in episode 2 and episode 3, it's so good. do you guys feel about Bruno?
No,
Bruno,
we don't talk about Bruno.
that's funny. That is funny. In frustration, tells Kamala that he's a Caltech that he's accepting. Feels like he's being pushed by the wayside.
Yeah, I hope not. I like his character a lot. Just a random aside. Did you guys hear about Bruno being like in the running to be Peter Parker in the MCU? Like he was one
Is
of
that
the.
real?
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Was that real? Was it not real? Did I get?
I don't know. I saw
Okay.
that too. I just
I'll
didn't
look
know
it
if it
up.
was real.
Okay. I assumed it was real because I think there was like an IGN. I read it from IGN. So I hope they did their source
You
checking
can't trust
because
those
I
hacks at
didn't.
IGN.
Yeah.
I think
But
you're
yeah,
right because it was an interview, right, where he was saying this.
yeah, yeah, and he was teasing it like I think some random guy Tom Holland got it and like he was joking about it.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I think he's doing a great job as Bruno and knowing that he could have been Peter Parker. I think he could have been a good Peter Parker watching him play Bruno. I think he's doing a really cool job. But yeah, I hope he isn't getting pushed by the wayside. I want to see more of him and Kamala's relationship evolve or degress depending on how it goes. Because I like their chemistry. So I want to see what ends up happening in the end. But I do want him to go to Caltech. He deserves it. So if he thinks he needs to go out and do it, then go out and do it. But yeah, I just want to see more of him is what I guess I'm trying to say.
I just realized I don't remember in the new Spider-Man trilogy when I don't remember them showing off Peter's intelligence very often. But in these 3 episodes of Miss Marvel, we're getting like Bruno being like hyper smart all the time. So I can see he would have been a pretty cool Peter Parker. You're right. Yeah, get behind that. How do you guys feel about the wedding scene? I thought it was awesome. The whole dance number was fantastic.
Fantastic.
And seeing Bruno get involved too was
yeah. Everybody got involved. Even the brother hopped up on there too. The mom and dad, obviously. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, I really liked it. Like I said, it gives us a great insight on the Muslim culture. It was very interesting. Like I also like the fact that they included Bruno in this. Like he was definitely a part of this. He knows he's been there. He's been a friend to Kamala and a friend of the families for so long. So like it was nice to see that they incorporated him into it. You know, as opposed to just him standing by the sidelines and just asking like, "Hey, what's that? What's going on here?" You know?
Yeah. This is growing up with that culture. He probably would have. He for sure is familiar with like some of these dances. Probably practiced with them. For sure is familiar with the food. So yeah,
definitely. Yeah, I what was I going to say? I also like that it's like a mixed like relationship. Like she's black, he's brown, and having that wedding with like just everybody mixing and mingling, and Bruno there too. Like it's really cool to see everybody just being there. It's really cool. Yeah.
Cool show.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm gonna get into some parts that I didn't find as cool, but maybe you guys did. Of course, we got the action sequences. Actually, real quick, I want to mention. Where did I write it down? Kamran seems to be actually a genuine guy. I was really worried at the end of the last episode where it's like, oh, is he just getting close to her because he wanted Najma to like talk to her and get the bangle? And that may be part of it, but like it seems like at the beginning of this one that like actually he might have a genuine crush, and we learn that he actually cares about her because he shows up to the wedding and warns her, right?
And Brian.
So I want to get and Brian.
And Brian.
You call him Brian. That part's funny.
Yeah.
Kamala has to pull the fire alarm, so that to get everyone out, get them safe, and then we finally get an action sequence with Kamala using her powers, her stretchy arms. All that good stuff. Did you guys like the action sequence?
I was ambivalent towards it. At first, I was like, the stretchy arm, I was like, okay, all right, I guess we'll take it. Just because like they have to show her use the stretchy arm, I feel like, just because they changed her powers. I did like the fact that she was blocking, like, even when there was nothing there, like that scene where they hit the pan and she just blocks automatically. That was pretty cool. I like that a lot. Mm-hmm. These weapons that the clandestine has, fucking intense, man. Man just took off his fucking belt and just turned it into a whip.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Fucking nuts.
What was Kamran using as his weapon? Like, what was that? Was that just like
Was it any weapon? Did he have one? I
I
forget.
don't think he did have a weapon.
he pulled
might have. He
something
did-
out
yeah.
to fight the guy with the belt when he showed up.
Oh,
I don't know what it was. There was like it was like a chain, but it wasn't.
Oh,
it wasn't very visible, yeah.
You're right.
Um,
I don't know
but
what
the-
it was.
Yeah, I mean, but Kamala's action scenes, like I think, I think the
I'll tell
the
I'm looking it up right now.
okay, what was I gonna say? Fudge. The her new powers, like it was cool to see the stretchy arm with the light, and when they first showed the trailers and it's like, oh, she has these new powers, she's walking on light. I was like, why are they doing this? I want to see her stretchy powers and stuff like that. But I think I'm excited to see how they use this in the future. Like in her Miss Marvels in the Marvels movie when she's fighting, like how's that going to look with these light powers? So I'm excited to see her still have that stretchy thing, even though it's not really that, but also have more to work with. So I'm excited to see what they do in a bigger budget. But for this, it was pretty cool. They had some cool moments. I like when she used like duck underneath the table. That was really cool. And obviously the stretchy arm I liked a lot. But besides those two things, that was kind of it. The Bon Jovi soundtrack.
Bon
over it, though.
Jovi?
Fucking hits.
That wrapped it all together for me. So I even if I didn't like what I was watching, I liked what I was hearing. So
Yeah.
I just had a good time watching it.
So
There are two.
just real quick to hit on what his weapon was. It looked like it was a yo-yo, but obviously it wasn't. Like it looked yo-yo like. It could have also been a mason chain.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's funny because when he pulled whatever it was, I was like, "Is that a yo-yo?" Just teasing to myself,
yeah.
like, "What the hell is
It
that? Is that a
looked-
yo-yo?" And I was like, "There's no way it's a yo-yo," but yeah, I guess it might have been.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Two things I like about this fight scene. Well, one, when she was hiding in the dark after the lights went off, and Najma very smartly just banged a pot or like a pan on the wall just to scare her, and you see the light come up like in the corner.
That's literally what I just said, Christian.
Oh, is that what you what?
That's what I was referencing. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that was the
She was
reference.
flinching, and then she just put up the shield, light shield, I guess.
How was I supposed to know that was the reference?
Because she flinched and put up the light shield, Christian.
Anyway, I also like
It was a good
when
part.
Kamala,
It was a good part.
when Kamala runs to the kitchen and says, "Everybody get out! Don't listen to her." And the other dude just like socks one of the cooks right in the face. The girl goes, "What did she say?"
She goes,
Absolutely
"Nope,
not."
absolutely
Nope.
not. I am not today."
Dude,
That
that
was
is
great.
1,000% how I would react if the MCU were real.
Yeah.
I would just leave every time.
My
Yeah.
boss is like, "Why the fuck did you leave in the middle of your shift? Some superheroes just popped up out of nowhere." And had a
Understood.
Super fight. No, well,
Understandable. Have a good day.
my boss would have been like, "Well, I mean, you could have still finished your shift, you know?"
Oh my, yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
Oh my god, two things I totally forgot. One, Brian gives Kamala her mask.
Yes.
Yeah.
Real cool.
A sweet gift.
Yeah.
Very sweet gift. I like that.
Can't wait for
and
this
then-
suit up.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I don't know when that happens, but it'll maybe episode
Yeah,
6, I'm sure.
episode
That's
six.
usually
I'm glad it hasn't happened yet, though.
Yes, for sure. And the other thing that I forgot is Nakia. She finds out that Kamala's Nightlight. Although she hates that name, Nightlight.
Great name. It's a great name.
It's funny. What is it, Night Monkey?
Yeah.
Yeah,
anyway.
that scene that was a good scene. Like I liked that she was genuinely hurt by it. She's like, why didn't you tell me? But also in the same breath, she realized how dire the situation was and let it go in the moment. And she was like, all right, I got to take care of Brian, right now. And yeah, I thought it was a good scene.
Bruno is ride or die. I have to
He
say
is.
it. Like,
Yeah.
Come on. Does he
Ran
feel
through
like
it.
betrayed by? Yeah.
Yeah, he threw a chair at a superhuman. Like, come on.
Yeah.
You think Kamran is gonna fucking throw a chair at a superhero? No, he's gonna. Get
I mean,
his
he
ass
did
kicked.
throw
He's gonna get his
hands.
ass kicked. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he fell off a 2-story
Yeah.
ledge.
And got
I can't blame
arrested
him.
for
He's
it.
17. The other people are like hundreds of years old.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was.
Yeah.
At the end, Kamala's auntie FaceTimes and says, "Did you see it? The train? I don't know what the train was. We can speculate here as well." And she says, "You have to come to Pakistan." So I'm assuming episodes 4, 5, and 6 will probably be in Pakistan.
Yeah, but it's interesting because when she first walks into the house, she's getting questioned by her parents, and like her mom keeps asking her, like, "Did you pull the fire alarm? What's going on with you?" And she decides
Nothing
not to
happens.
tell her, which is kind of for me, it's kind of pointless because now you kind of fucking have to tell her because how the fuck are you gonna get to Pakistan? Without, like, you need to tell them what's going
Yeah.
on in order for you to go, I don't
I don't
know.
know.
I don't know how she's gonna get there unless like Kamran has a hookup, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah, but he's in jail.
right. Oh yeah, shit.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's fucked.
She's probably gonna have to come clean next episode.
The thing for me is like they teased it in episode 1 that Kamala's mom
Knows
has some
something.
kind of notion, knows something that's up with the bangle. So
Yeah, maybe when she like admits it, it'll be like a turning red situation where she knew all along that this
Yeah.
was going to happen, but she
right.
just didn't know it was going to happen so soon, sort of thing.
But it's also weird that nobody else has noticed that she has the bangle on, especially her mom. Like, you're telling me she's wearing long sleeves all day, every day? There's no way.
Could be.
Right.
I haven't
It
seen her
could
in a
be.
short sleeve.
You're right, but at the same time, like, even when you reach for something in a long sleeve T-shirt, like your fucking wrist is showing, and especially her mom
fair.
should have noticed because her mom was so adamant about it being junk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that one.
we all have.
I
our
also
flaws.
don't. What do we see in Pakistan? You guys have any speculations here?
I think
I don't know.
we
I'm in for
get
the ride.
we get the story of like what actually happened with her. What is it, great grandmother?
Yes, Aisha.
Yeah. We get some background on what the Jinn actually are. We maybe see episode 5. I'm just spitballing here. We see focus on the clandestines, like their background and how they got to this point. What happened before we see them in the 10 Rings,
Find out what
Yeah,
the train is.
Oh,
The tr-
I mean, I think the train is just the train bringing it into the town,
Apart from the story.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yes.
Yeah. But
But-
interesting, now that I'm thinking about it, they could have just been stealing the bangle from the 10 Rings. Which kind of makes sense because they're being hunted.
Well, I don't know if I would like that.
But that was
I really like.
partition, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I really like that they're really honing in on like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
British Empire ruling over India, like that part I've really liked.
Yeah.
That they're not glossing over that fact. We'll see.
We'll see.
I do think I don't know. Does the other bangle show up in some capacity? Does Kamala end with 2 bangles?
I think
Ooh.
it'll probably set up season 2. Somebody finds it, but we don't see who it is.
Yeah. That'd be interesting. It could be like that she has it,
It could
and then the bad
Kamran
guy
picks it up.
gets the second one. Or yeah, I was thinking like maybe one of the Jinn gets it, and then they have to fight for it or something like that. Yeah.
It could be a Wonder Twin situation where they have to touch each other now to activate.
Any final thoughts on Miss Marvel episode 3, Destined?
I'm looking at my notes here, and I think I said everything.
Marvel needs to stop copying off of each other. Off of themselves, I guess. Like, fucking Kevin Feige, you're just phoning it in with these shows.
Oh my
Be
god.
better, alright? But still, if you need me for, Spider-Man 4, hit me up, bro. Alright? Hit me up. Listen, I'm a great fucking assistant. Alright? John Watts is no longer directing this, but the new director could use an assistant. That's all I'm saying. I'll be a coffee run guy. That's all I got to say.
Wow.
Cristian, I
goodness.
need a new job. So
Don't we all?
If I
Don't
gotta
we all?
if I gotta run for coffee, then if it pays the bills.
Let's all quit our jobs and become Mario Party streamers. My final thoughts. I'm a little disappointed in where the new direction is going. I thought the show was really strong when it was focusing on the small stakes. I don't think it needed to have MCU-style big stakes in a show like this. I'm not writing the show off completely because I think Kamala is still like one of the strongest characters we've gotten in MCU TV, and I like her character. I like the supporting crew a lot, and I still think there's a lot to touch on that's going to be really textually rich in the next 3 episodes. But again, I'm not completely sold on the Jin figures. We'll see how they nail it, but yeah.
Pretty similar boat here as well. Yeah, I think my favorite parts of all of these episodes have been when they're just talking, like when the dad is talking to the brother about the upcoming wedding. It's like, oh, this is a really nice scene. I love this. And we talked. Yeah,
it kind of complements the scene where her mom is talking to Kamala.
To Kamala, yeah.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
Absolutely. Yeah, and the story time in episode 2, like all those scenes are just like super good, and they're just not Marvel things, but I'm loving them so much. So I hope they do more of it. I think we got a good amount of it in these episodes, so I understand why they're doing the Marvel thing now. It's time to do the action, guys. That's why you're here, right? But they don't have to. I know. Yeah.
Hear me out. Just take the Marvel out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Just cinematic universe.
Yeah, just have it.
See you.
Yeah.
I'm more like see you later on the next episode of Marvel Mondays Initiative. Let's get into some plugs. Ro, where can people find you?
People can find me and you on Podcast PXN live every Wednesday. Just search up Podcast PXN on Twitter and YouTube and Twitch. You can find us there. And you can find me on Twitter at Rauwro, Rauwro. I have brain fart there. I draw and talk about video games there. So yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Amy, the hedgehog.
Love her. She's the best.
Ruben, Ben.
Very clever. I forgot to mention this in housekeeping, so let's just rewind all the way back to housekeeping. Me, Ryan, and Hugo Panay, the great Hugo Panay. I've heard a lot of things and finally got a chance to talk to him yesterday and sit down and have a conversation about Obi-Wan Kenobi. And whew, what a fucking episode of a show. We get into the nitty-gritty of what Star Wars needs to become, Cristian.
I I watched the whole thing. It was good.
It was real good. It was real good.
Yeah. All you guys did was make fun of me the whole time.
I mean, some would say you did that to yourself, and that's not here nor there. You can catch that on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Penultimate Conquest, I think. That should be it. Yeah, that should be it. So go check that out. You can find me here the rest of the week. Just chugging out fucking content, baby. That's it. That's all.
Goddamn aggressive.
Yeah.
You can follow me at ISOChristian over on Twitter to keep up with all the things I'm doing, like my movie podcast, new episode dropping tomorrow, Blade of the Immortal, Podcast PXN, as Rose said, every Wednesday, and all the stuff I do here on this channel. Working, again, co-writing the next video essay with a special guest. You're in for a real treat. You're in for a real treat on that one. The writing is almost done, so I'll get to the editing shortly after. So
you tell them I can pay in Coca-Cola.
We aren't paying at all.
I mean, okay, all right, that works too. Just saying.
More Coca-Cola for you?
Yeah, exactly. I already paid for it. It's already here.
Okay. Whatever you say, Jersey boy. Until the next conquest, Excelsior.